So we can make decisions. You can make a personal decision, or if you want to, we can make a group decision to crop this in, right? Only do the coffee cup. But I really found the shadows and this little bit of chair and the table, that's actually a leg of a person, but you can barely tell. Really lovely. And I thought it would be fun to have them in there. They're kind of gestural pieces. So you guys tell me, do you like this setup? Do you like this composition? All right.
I like it.
Then we're going to talk about, then I'll talk to you about sketching it. A couple of things. First, let's see where the middle of this composition is. So I'm going to start like here. To find the middle, this is an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper. So 8.5 is 4.25. Notice that to find the center, I don't go this way. I have to start with this. Excuse me, I'm talking through with a cap in my mouth. All right, here, let's try that. So here's like 1/2, and then the long half is what? It's 11. So half of 11 is 5.5. Half of 11 is 5.5. You can just divide your paper. Your paper might be 9 by 12, right? It might not be 8.5 by 11. It might be half the size. As long as it's kind of rectangular, that's all we really need to work on. All right, so as we're starting to place things in here, hold on, I'll draw this. So you can see this better. So we're going to deal with this painting, drawing in a couple of ways. One is like, where is the coffee cup in relation to the rest of it? Like if you were to place this coffee cup somewhere, where is it?
The lower right corner, right?
Yeah,
or
it's in this
quadrant.
quarter. Yeah, it's in this quadrant. So if you want to, you can divide your paper, whatever size it is. I'm going to try 9 by 12. So let's see. I'm going to find 9 by 12. That's 4.5. I'm going to draw it lightly, but I think I'll draw it. 4.5. I'll lightly draw it. I might just, and then 12, so that's 6. Yes. So instead of drawing all the lines, I'm just going to mark them, the quadrants. Can you see this? So that I don't have all this extra pencil. So I have this here. Then I have this here. So I see where my quadrants are, but I don't actually have anything. So we're going to talk about that. And then let's talk about it. Does anybody notice they have trouble drawing the mouth of a coffee cup? Hey, Christina, nice to see you. We are starting just with a pencil drawing, and then you can use whatever medium you want. You can continue in pencil. You could go to charcoal. You could do charcoal if you wanted to, but I am going to continue demoing in watercolor. So you get to do whatever you want. Nice to see you. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thanks.
75. That's amazing. So has anybody noticed that you have trouble drawing coffee cups, the mouths of coffee cups? Like the mouth looks too big. Have you ever noticed that? Anybody had trouble with this? Okay. So let's talk about what's happening. That's because there's a perspective thing happening. Here, hold on. I'm going to switch my camera. Okay. Oh, I guess I have to flip up here. I'm on the other. Here, hold on. I'm going to add my spotlight here. All right. So if you know the answer to this question, please do not answer it. But if you're, what I want you to focus on is what you think you see. Where is this pencil in relation to the mouth of the cup? Is it closer to us? Is it farther away? Where is it?
It's right in the middle, isn't it?
Do you hear what I just said? Where does it look? What does it look like? What does it look like, Paul? Closer
It
to you or
looks like it's
farther away?
farther away.
Yeah, right, because this part is bigger, but if you come over here and we look, you will see that Paul is right. It is absolutely in the center of the cup. Right? So the halfway, does everybody get what just happened there? I did not move. I did not move the pencil. The pencil is still halfway. So that means that this half and this half are equal in size. However, they don't look equal to us. And when we draw them, we don't draw them equally. Does anybody understand why? Any thoughts on that? Does that surprise you?
For sure.
Yeah. So what's happening is a little bit like what's happening with the road. You've got, remember this road, right, that we draw? If you're drawing a road going away from you, right? Remember this road that we're drawing? So the road, as it goes away from us, appears on the flat paper to be rising up and to be getting narrower as it moves farther away from us, till it gets smaller, until it meets, till these two lines meet. Is that actually what's happening with the road? Is the road actually rising up? Is the road levitating?
No.
Is the
Most
road
likely
actually
not.
is right? Unless you're on a lot of drugs. Is the road getting smaller as it goes away from us?
No.
No. So the whole point of this lesson is to demonstrate that while it is true, when you're translating 3 dimensions, you're trying to create something that looks 3-dimensional on a flat surface, shapes will look different than they appear, right? So this cup, although it looks like a single object, actually has sides. There is the back side, which is here, and kind of narrower, right? And then there's the front side, which is kind of wider. Can you see the difference in the shape? So if we were to look over the top, this would be the halfway point. But when you draw it, just like when you draw this road, we're going to draw the back half of the cup smaller, narrower, a little bit more angled in. We're going to draw the bottom part of the sort of front part of the cup a little bit bigger. Can you see that? So that is why when you try to draw something like, let's see, for a piece of paper so I can show you. To draw something, no, I've made half. Here we go. When you try to draw a cup like this, you can't, if you draw the circle like that, right? And imagine dividing it in the middle, your cup will look weird. It's gonna look weird. This half has to get narrower. It's actually almost like 3 lines, see? That looks like a more strangely normal shaped cup as you're going away from us. So that is the big lesson I want you to, a big takeaway we have of doing, of drawing a cylindrical object. Does anybody know what direction the light's coming from here? Can you tell that?
Upper left.
Upper left, nope. Well, there is light coming from the upper left, but there's more.
From the
there's
back,
more-
I want to say it's from the back right.
Yes, how do you know?
Looking at the coffee cup, I can tell.
And what are you seeing? What about the coffee cup is telling you that?
I see a shadow and I see.
Where? I'm gonna make
front.
you use your words.
I see a shadow on the front side.
Uh-huh,
On the back side, I see
like here.
a light peering through. So that tells me it's a bit to the right. So it's peering in to the right, significantly more to the right than I originally thought.
So part of it is this, that there's this shadow kind of coming from kind of, the shadow is going this way, right? Not going, if it was from the left, the shadow would be going this way. The shadow would be coming this direction, the cast shadow. But here's the real key. Can you see this? This is light. This is super light. And then over here, just like we learned when we drew cylinders last week, because the light's coming from this direction, this is light also. Remember that? Remember this when we were painting the cylinders? Oh, where are the cylinders? I painted so many cylinders, there should be one around here. Oh, here we go. Remember? Oh, oh. Remember, when you're painting a cylinder, if you remember this, that if the light's coming from this direction, this side will be light and this inside will be light. That means this will be dark and this side will be dark. Right? Remember that? So that is also happening with this object. So there's a couple of other elements here. My suggestion, I'm going to sketch them in right now. My suggestion to you as you're starting to sketch this out, and I'll sketch it with you, is not to think too much about what you're sketching. Don't worry too much about what it is. Think more about the shape. Right? And what it is than anything else. And let's see, there's some lights and darks here. All right. So if everybody has their sketch divided into quarters, we can see that our coffee cup kind of rests about here. The saucer scoots a little bit over here. Our coffee cup kind of rests about here. It's kind of small, actually, in the scheme of things. Let's see if I've got that right. Yep, might be a little bit bigger. And that, if I want to measure how wide, how tall the coffee cup is, let's draw a line straight through from here to the saucer. Right? The halfway point, looks like the halfway point is just below here. It's just below the lip. It's not exactly the mouth of the coffee cup. So if I want to, I can sketch this. Let's see if I got my circle in the right place. I probably didn't. I can find, if I were to make my coffee cup like this tall, the halfway point is here. You can see, you could measure the halfway point using a ruler, but it's much better to kind of, to guess and then check it, either by holding your pen here. You see I've marked the distance of the halfway point, and then I'm bringing it up here, right? Yeah, that's not too bad. And then as well, I can draw at the halfway point a line here, kind of across the center, the sort of middle of the object, right? That's from like here to there. How big is that in comparison? It's not as wide. So the width here, maybe it comes out to here. So as I start to sketch, here's the edge of my coffee cup. I can come down here. And then about here, the handle. So that handle actually might be tricky to draw at this exact moment. So I may just draw this line down over to this side. Sketch that in. There's a shadow here where the bottom of the saucer is. And then up here at the halfway point, here we have that plate. The plate, by the way, is doing the same thing that the mouth of the coffee cup is doing. So it's not exactly entirely, it's a little bit wider here and it's a little bit narrower as it turns back. Same thing happening here. Now I feel almost like you have to do the handle in pieces. There's like this light piece here. And then there's a light piece up here. The rest of it is dark. Comes down like that. You can't even really see where the edge of the cup and the shadow meet. That's a lost edge. If you want to, you can draw these things and you don't have to. And then there's that shadow, that kind of gloppy shadow, cast shadow here. Then the last thing you'll want to do is just catch that little light spot here. And there's a kind of beautiful pattern, ceramic pattern to this cup here. It might be also sort of coffee junk. There's a little light edge, a light rim edge here. Essentially, I've drawn the dark and the light parts. So let me show you. Let me take a picture of it. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, thank you. Show you how my coffee cup looks. And you guys send it to me. And tell me if you're having trouble with this. Remember, it's in this bottom quarter. It's teeny compared to everything else that's going on, but there's a nice movement to this scene I really like. And if you want me to show you that again, let me know.
Yeah, I would see that again. Thank you.
What's that? You want me to do it again?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, let's see. You get a sheet of paper. do it again. So I started by drawing a line
Mm-hmm.
down here for the top and the bottom, right? And then I found the halfway point, which is just below the lip of the cup. And then also I drew the width. The width is less wide than the height. The lid is about, the width is at the halfway point is about 3/4 from the cup. It's about 3/4 of the height. And then I'm able to sketch my circle. So this is the back. You can actually, you get to the point once you understand the perspective of this, right? This is the back half. If we were looking at the top of the cup, it would look exactly the same as the front half, but because we not, the back half kind of looks like this. And the front half looks like that. See, it looks like a little stick man. I'll stop here. Does that help?
Yeah.
And then, do you want me to keep going?
Yes.
Sure.
Then I'm looking at the dark shapes. So I can see this big one here. Let's see if I can work it. I'm looking at the dark shapes. So I see this big one here and here and here and here. So I go straight down and then I kind of bend in. And I actually bend out. On this side, I come down as well. The handle is kind of in the way, but I found the handle a little bit too difficult. So I just came over here and did the first. So I came over here and drew that shadow that's on the saucer there. Then I drew this shape, which is the light, right? The light part of the saucer here. Oops. Then I drew this part of the saucer here. And the last thing I tried to do was deal with that lid. So it starts with me marking the light side of the cup. And then I see the lid in the handle, sorry, rather, in kind of 3 pieces. I see this light piece up here that has a shape like that. I see a dark shape that comes down like this. And then I see a light shape here. And the dark shape kind of comes around to meet this shadow. Have to adjust it a little bit. And then it's kind of light on this side, and on the other side of the cup, it's dark.
Can you take a picture of that?
Sure.
Yeah. I just want to, I'd like to look at it up close if, if that's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I sent the other one across too, but you guys watch this one more. So I think I need to bring my lid out a bit more. I think I need to bring my handle up a little bit more. Brought it in. There we go. That's better. Okay. Sure. For fuck's sake. What the hell? Oh, it's doing some stupid timer thing. There you go. It's not that bad, Paul. It's almost like we stop thinking of this thing as just what it is, and we really look at its dark and light shapes. Hi, Diana. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Let me see. This is too small, Lisa.
The saucer,
No, the handle.
the handle.
The handle starts up here. I'm going to send you a very close-up picture of it so you can see where the handle starts up.
Yeah.
Look up close. The handle starts up here, close to the lid, the close to the mouth. That's probably the biggest issue that you're having.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
As well, this area also, so the other thing you did, Lisa, is this is in, you've got this going in like this. It actually bends
Yeah.
outward.
Yeah. Okay.
Mariana, this guy, I feel like is too small, but let me. Your cup should be about twice the size.
The cup?
Yes. Yes. 1, 2, 3. So if you look here, you can see. I don't really see your quarters happening. Do you have them and I just don't see them?
Yes, I have and I erase them.
You have you erase them. Okay.
Yes.
So notice that your cup, if you were to take your cup from the length, Here?
Actually, yes, I see your point. So the cup.
you see this?
border-
Look at how much it comes, the
Yes.
distance comes up. If you do yours should be twice the size. So erase the cup. Try
Okay.
again. The other thing
What
I
about
want,
mine? Is mine this also disproportionate as far as location?
no, I think yours is in the right place, actually. It's in a good shape. And then also, I want you guys to look. This table, although it's a round table, doesn't really look round. Don't you just love me today? I'm like, fucking everything that you think you're looking at is not happening. Everything you think is happening. This is a better way to think about this subject. It's almost like straight lines that turn and intersect. Do you see that? So the first one, well, the first one goes kind of up here and comes down like that. The second one kind of comes over like this. The third one comes down at an angle like that. The a little bit lower. The fourth one comes down like this. Then I can kind of go back and round off those edges to get that shape of that table right. So it's not this, which is what I think a lot of you will think, right? It's not like everything around it. It's not this. That's not what's happening. You can blame the fact that we're working with a flat surface. That's more what's happening. And then on this side, you can kind of see the dark edge here. Let's see, that's happening. You can see these kind of light waves. Let's see. Josh, that's pretty good. Good
Awesome.
job. Good job. I like how you even kind of indistinct. Well, the only thing you might be able to do is you may be able to catch this little light shape here at the
Okay.
bottom of the cup. Let's see.
Which shape again?
This little shape that's at the bottom of the handle. It's a little light
Okay.
shape. Yeah, I see it's a little indistinct there. That's all. Right? Hey, but guess what? There is good news. This is really a pretty much a straight up line. A straight up and down line. So see, it's not all bad. Here. So remembering that everything that's happening up here is remaining in this quarter. We have this kind of dark line here, and then up here. Have this dark shape. There's kind of a light. Here. And this is really awesome. This is, I shouldn't even tell you what it is. It'll mess you up. Just do your best to draw. That dark shape. Yeah, it's a little dark here. There's lots of things happening on this copy table. Oh, yes. And then there's, I don't even really know what this is, just reflections, lights. That look kind of cool. That's really. Let's draw. Oops, here we go. Sorry. So you have some tools here. You can use the quarters to figure out what is in each quarter. Remember that you're really just trying to draw the dark shapes, the edges of the dark shapes. If you're working with pencil, you can color those in. If you're going to work in watercolor, like I am, I'm just leaving them outlined. I think you guys saw the color version of this picture. I'm not going to follow it, but if you want to, you totally can. Let's see. Yeah, Tosh. Yeah. Isn't that funny how that table just does that ridiculous thing, but still looks round? Yet we're really just, that's all perspective. Very nice. Let's see a couple more drawings and then we'll work on color. So Mariana was really tired this morning. Paul had a red tape day. Lisa was staring rather tiredly at the screen. How's everybody else's day been? No, everyone's too tired to even answer that question.
Yeah, right?
I've been to the new office trying to get more organized.
Oh, how exciting. Is that exciting?
Yeah.
Sort of.
And now Sunny can't get the nap from me because I've been away all day.
Oh, bad mom.
And, I'm sending you where I'm
Okay.
at with my thing. put in a window to get some excitement in the picture.
Nice. Great job with the coffee cup, Mariana. I want you to re-look at this that you've drawn. So what you've drawn, I'm going to show you what you've drawn. You've done this. Here, this is what you're, if you look at your drawing, you'll see it. It's hard to see. So I'm re-sketching your drawing. Your drawing looks like that. You have bent your table down. That's not what's actually happening. In the
So-
picture, the table, look at that
Oh,
line
gotta go
goes up.
up. Yeah, I can see it. Okay.
Yep. Welcome to the world of drawing where nothing is the way you think it should be. This isn't too bad. Let's see. Lisa R, much better. This doesn't really go like this, the way you've
No.
drawn it. It's really
Yeah.
more like that.
What is that? I don't know what I'm looking at there.
It's a chair. It's the side of a chair. It's suggested. Oh, Diana, that's coming along nicely. I'm glad you put the window in.
Yeah, it had to have something there.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're learning what your preferred way is of like kind of breaking up the composition, making an awkward picture look a little less awkward, on and on and on, right? It's kind of interesting.
Mhm.
It's kind of an interesting thing as you go through this, painting. I like to see everybody's drawing before we go on to the painting. So send your drawing over. Because I think the drawing is where many of you struggle a lot more than with the painting. I think the drawing is the hardest part, which is valid. It is hard. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my paint palette here. I don't do much watercolor these days except with you guys.
Oh, lay down.
She's not going to. Absolutely, she will not. I think this will be a fun one to paint though, once we get this going, because there's a lot you can do. Mostly, I want you to get into the sort of feel of this scene. It's a very gestural scene, right? A lot of things are suggested rather than kind of clearly stated. And I think that's what I liked about it. I think that's what I've been hearing from you guys about what you want to do. You know, you want these kind of atmospheric suggested scenes. Who is that? Is that Coco?
That is Coco, yeah.
Hi, Coco.
You wanna say hi, Coco?
Please, I'll pop you up if you bring her over. Here.
Coco. Okay. Let's bring her over.
Let's see. Hey,
Coco
Coco.
had a haircut.
Oh, let's see her.
Yeah, she's right here.
Oh,
Here.
hi,
Hey, Coco.
Coco.
Wanna say
Hi,
hello?
Coco. Hi.
Say hello?
Hi.
Yeah.
Look at that face. How can you resist that face? Hi,
Well,
darling.
Yeah, she's got she's been cranky lately.
Yeah,
She's old. She's actually 9 years old. Or 8. She's like 8, I think.
she's middle-aged lady. That's for
But
sure.
they live long, so she's like a middle-aged lady.
I just
young
love
lady, I
it.
guess.
Anybody else who decide, by the way, wants to pop their animal up, I will display them. You got an animal who wants to be seen. Coco, you're just the best. You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. What a good girl you are. Oh, like, can she? It's funny, a lot of dogs don't respond, but Coco seems to respond when she hears
Coco
Coco.
she's weird. If you give her like little tiny treats, she's happier than if you give her like a big chunk of meat.
Oh,
Most dogs will prefer, she would rather have small amounts of treats and go do the tricks. She's
oh,
smart.
that's so cute.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
she's 9, so we want to get her getting her doing tricks before she
Okay, Coco?
right. You see Coco. Hi, Victor. Christina, the only thing you need to do is bring out, look at this shape here. Here, hold on. Sorry, Paul, we're going to say goodbye to Coco. Bye, Coco. Good to see you, Coco. You're such a good girl. Christina, this is looking pretty good. You'll notice that this kind of shape here look at this shape, this light slice, as if this was like a pizza, right? You have these sides as equal, they are not. This side extends out a little bit longer. What you've got going is this. You've got this. Can you see that? You have your things of each. You need to bring on this side, you need to bring out wider to make that saucer look the right size. So bring that in. And then the only other thing is to really observe that although this is a rounded table, from what we see, there's no rounding down. There's no going straight. It's actually kind of going up. I don't see your things here, but I assume you've just got them lightly sketched in, and that's why I can't see them. Other than that, it looks good. Lisa, you can do the same thing with your saucer. Your saucer is also a little bit doing this.
Okay.
Right? Extend it out. It's funny how much the mind wants to make things equal size, but that's just not how things look when you're drawing most of the time. Most of the time, because of perspective, some sides will be bigger, some sides will be smaller, but the desire is to make this side the same size as this side, but that's not how it looks in this picture. You can see here, this is one side, here's the other. And they're not equal. Good job, you guys. Mariana, you could do the same as well. Extend out a little bit here. This size. Try not to look at this as what it is. Try to see the light and dark shapes. I know it's hard, but the more you can do that, the easier it's going to be to sort of solve every painting problem. There's this light shape. There's this pizza slice here of a light shape. I think we're about ready to paint. But let's get everybody's drawings kind of. Notice the way your mind wants to make things equal. Just notice that. That's your left brain. And while it's good at many things, it's not good at this. It's not good at drawing. Left brain isn't very helpful when it comes to drawing. I'm going to make everything equal. I'm going to create patterns in my head. Everything's going to turn out great. Oh, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Need a water. I should return shortly. Okay, I totally admit it. I was also, as I was coming back from getting my water, I was walking by a painting I've been working on, and I had to make one correction. I could see it out the corner of my eye, and it was driving me crazy.
That was fast.
It was quick. It was just a one little correction, but I was like, I've been looking at it the whole time I've been talking to you guys, and which is really great. I can kind of look, and sometimes it takes me 2 hours to look at something and figure out what the heck is wrong with it. Oh, you guys can even see it here. Hold on. I can show it to you. I've got the camera turned around here. Here we are. Let's see. It's a portrait of somebody's ancestor. Oh, no, it's still not right. Here, hold on. Sorry. Gotta fix it again. I'm trying to get this shadow right because she's looking too fat. That's a little bit better. I can't fix it. I can't fix it right now. All right, I'll fix it later. Anyway, that's what I was looking at.
That's cool.
Paint your problems. If it makes you feel better, like that's constantly, basically all day I'm looking at my stuff going, wait, how did I mess that up? Wait, oh darn, I messed that up. Well, heck. Shoot, that's not right. Darn. How do I fix that? So I know I spend a lot of time going, nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not right. But don't worry. I give it to myself even worse. Full sleeve. Well, in about 5 minutes, go ahead, wherever your drawing is, send it in again. Not bad, Paul. The only thing okay, here, hold on, sorry. Let me get rid of this.
I'm here.
Yeah, no, let me remove this so I can show you up close. You want to, this is what you've done with your top of your cup. It looks a little bit like this. It's kind of too square.
Oh, yeah, okay.
See, so you want to angle that up a little bit more.
Okay.
Lisa, are you just painting are you just drawing today?
Yes.
Okay, bring this out even a little bit further.
Right.
Little bit further. But it's starting to look nice. Also notice, and here I'm going to give this to you because I know I've kind of sketched on this, so it's a little bit hard to see. Here, I know I have a picture of this. I'm going to, can I edit this? Edit, I'm gonna crop it. There we go. I'm going to crop the coffee cup so you can see it up close. And I want you to look at those handle shapes because there's like 3 shapes to the handle. So there's the coffee cup up close. So can you see how this light area comes out like this? And then there's
Yes.
a dark area kind of in the middle. Then it
Yes.
comes down around the edge. And then
Yes.
there's a light area in here. So it's 3
Yes.
pieces really. And then the light part of the cup is on this side of the handle. Dark part of the cup comes here. There you go. Yeah, it kind of even comes up right, like that shape. So yeah, if you're doing what Lisa's doing, you can just start sketching in the dark areas. But I would suggest if you want to paint, before we get started, what are the rules of watercolor? Anybody remember? Is there anything you remember about watercolor? What do we need to be careful of in watercolor?
Going too dark.
Right. If you go too dark, it's really hard to go back. So I like to start with the darkest areas of the painting because I know I'm less likely to go too dark there. In here, there's some really lovely big areas. And I like to go with the biggest areas first. And my suggestion is to pick any color that you like that's dark. I very often like purple. Let's see if I can mix some purple. So I'm just gonna mix blue and alizarin crimson. See if I can make myself a pretty, oh yeah, there we go. But you don't have to, you could do green, you could do, yeah, I'm just trying to decide. I guess I do want to start with the cup. I'm gonna start with a smaller brush. I'm gonna start with a flat brush. And I'm gonna start with the dark areas of the cup. Which is this front part. The shadow. Also notice that as it dries, it gets a little lighter. So I'm often having to, and by the way, I'm ignoring anything that isn't dark. I'm just literally,
So Lisa, did you use purple and blue or just purple alone?
whatever color you want. That's as long as it's dark. It could be green, it could be red, it could be purple, it could be dark, pink. Use whatever color you want is my encouragement to you as we start to, but make sure it's dark and make sure you only go into the dark parts. So that's the saucer. And then there's a tiny little line of light and underneath the saucer. I happen to be mixing purple. It's a little more square now. So Paul,
Yeah,
the back of the, here's your shape. I'm gonna show you what your shape looks like, and then I'm gonna draw it so that you can see it. I'm just gonna draw it right here. So your shape looks like this. That's what your shape for the top of this coffee cup looks like. The actual shape of the coffee cup is more like this.
okay, I'm seeing the round. I'll try the round.
Right, it's narrower. Here's the half. The back half is kind of more like a little hat, 2 angle lines. The front is like a curve, as like a more like a curved line. Leave a little space here between the edge of your saucer and that cast shadow on the bottom.
Oh.
Notice how your brush, use a big enough brush so that you can kind of cover big areas, right? If you're using a little tiny brush, it's going to be very frustrating. Much better. There you go. I'm going to skip up here because this is also like a dark, oh, I guess I can come here to the side as well. I'm going to move around to all the areas that are really dark. There would be a 5 level of darkness. Remember, 5 is the darkest, right? You can, if you decide, oh, I want a different color for this, maybe I want this to be more red, I can totally do that. I am getting drips because my painting is late on a drawing table, but that shouldn't happen to you. Notice I'm working around these light areas. Just painting around them. So I'm moving to every dark area that's like a 5 level of darkness. And I'm painting it a dark color. I don't know what's going on here. We'll see. I'll totally fix it. I can fix it later on my next layers. Isn't it? Oh, that's really pretty, Tosh. Super. I love it. What are you gonna do with the rest?
I don't know.
So now you can start laying in your midtones, right? And
Okay.
what I would encourage you is to play around a little bit. As long as the values match, as long as your medium matches, looks like a medium next to your dark, it can be any color you want.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Like you're doing different colors for the same.
With the same value, yeah. It could be really tremendous. You don't have to. I mean, this is a little bit ridiculous. I'm admitting this is a little bit ridiculous looking. When it dries, I'll probably even it out with more like one color, but yeah, play around. Everything doesn't have to be the same. It has to be the same values. The values need to match, but the color doesn't need to be the same. You inspired me to try a little bit of dark brown and blue. Oh, no, not that.
Interesting, because this is reminding me of the sailboats, the table.
It is a little bit with the reflective, like, so yeah, absolutely. That kind of reflection is a little bit soft. Which means you might leave it a little bit. Same like this. But this is a lighter value. Right, this isn't so dark. If you want to, you can try and kind of mimic some of the wood that you're seeing. I actually really just want you guys to enjoy laying values down, laying colors down without being so fussed with are they the correct color. Everything's so loose. We'll see about this in a minute. I'll let it dry. But this is basically the darkest values are basically these. Next to them are lighter values. Need to make sure those are watery enough. I can blend those light values into the side. So as you're going through and like, does everybody know what I mean by values, by the way? You know what I'm talking about, right? The lightness or darkness of any color. So if this is a 5, if this 5 is a 1, do I need to repeat that? I think you guys all know this, but I hate to repeat myself, but if you don't know what values are, let me know. Anybody need me to repeat that? So we know that this is a dark value, it's a 5. This is a light value, it's a 1. So this is like 1, 2, maybe, let's see, 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, right? 5, 5. This is a 3. There's a 2, 5, 1, right? So that's your values. Here, I'll send this over so you can see this. Oh, that's looking really lovely, Tosh. Very expressive. Mine's looking a little bit cattywampus, I got to admit. I like Tosh Ween's. It's very controlled.
Okay.
You can, huh?
The same, thank you.
Oh, it's really nice. It looks great. Mine's a little bit kind of crazy. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I guess I'm maybe on here to demonstrate today that you can kind of goof a little bit. as well, if you want to go crazy.
Voy a buscarle los colores.
What I want you to do is play with this idea of values.
Los colores que están en una cajita por ahí.
Right? What does a 2 look like? What colors represent? It's very relative, right? It's very relative. So I also want you to pick things that please your eye. I'm going to go back in and try and darken in a couple of places. I'm going to try and fix this mess. Probably go over it. Oh, you know, I might go over it. Right. Here we go. So I can go over this and really darken it now that it's kind of even it out a little bit. Notice that the smaller my brush, the longer this is going to take. So I'm trying to use big, broad strokes. I want to get color everywhere. I want to make sure I've got my values right. It's true that both of these, this is fairly much a 1. I kind of decided I wanted to go from yellow to pink as I came up, just to create a kind of loose transition. I was saying before class that we have our abstract art teacher, Carissa Trask, who teaches on Tuesdays, is just having a great time in the studio right now because she has taken 2 jobs that allow her to not have to paint for money for a year. And the level of freedom that she's got to explore, it makes her classes like incredibly fun. I don't know if any of you have time to take these classes on Tuesdays, but I would highly recommend it. They are a blast. And there's something really freeing about like kind of just playing around, right? Without worrying so much about your final product. I'm a little envious, actually.
Yeah, I really want to take that class.
It's pretty neat. I would actually recommend that if to watch the video of yesterday's class. They had a lot of fun. They had a tremendous amount of fun. They were all like laughing hysterically by the time I got back on. I missed like half of it. I was out doing something else. I came back on, they're all giggling. And they're using, Carista's basically told them to use everything, anything that they can get their hands on to create marks. So somebody's using like gluten-free spaghetti and another person is using, you know, a rolling pin, and somebody else is like, I mean, it was just like
Oh my God.
completely. And they did some tremendous artwork. One girl grabbed an orange from the fruit bowl on her table. It was like just, it was tremendous. It was totally tremendous. I was like, this is awesome. They were really having a good time. I have a feeling that Krista's going to make a lot of great work this year because she's not so worried. You know what I mean? Because she's not that she doesn't always make great work, but I have a feeling she'll make even more great work because she's not so worried about selling. She doesn't have that pressure on her to create like something that you
Yeah, I'm sure that affects your creative process, right?
It does. I mean, you know, I don't know. I really like selling paintings. It's a lot of fun for me. So I have a lot more fun with it. To me, it's like a game to figure out how to get them all sold. But yeah, in a way, it's kind of would be kind of nice not to have to, in a way. So we all put a lot of pressure on ourselves to produce, which is good. You know, it's not a bad thing, but it's also sometimes good to let up the pressure and then see what happens. I don't know if you guys ever find this. Do you ever find that when you're really trying to force writing something, it doesn't happen? You have to kind of let it, I don't know, percolate for a while or think about something else for a while to be able to get it to come out the way you want it, right? I mean, I know you have to force it to happen. I know. Like, sometimes it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't want to. Kind of liking how this is looking. I'm sort of curious to see how your guys's are looking. I'm also, because this is a mixed media class and I'm really into this, I'm going to take some gouache as well. Gouache is a little bit more, here, I'm going to put it right on here, so I don't really have a place to put it. Gouache is a little bit more opaque, meaning you can't see through it, unlike watercolor. So sometimes you can take light colors like this white and come back in and add them on top. So if you feel like you kind of lost your whites, oh yeah. So I'm going back in, kind of pull my white back. I kind of like how that's working too. Because I feel like I lost it a little bit. I was laying other colors down. So if you have gouache, sometimes you can even do this with white watercolor. If you've got tubed paint and you use just the paint and you don't put any water on it, you just put the paint straight on. Might even look nice. See how I'm kind of drifting it in.
Coco's chewing on a paint tube. I gotta go
Go
fetch
get
it.
that out of her.
Want her to poison herself or anything.
No, absolutely not. Is anybody doing something they're kind of pleased with right now?
No,
Is anybody enjoying the process as they're doing this? You're enjoying it though, Diana, right?
it's kind of bittersweet. Why not? Now that I've put in the windows, I don't know if I have to change the background color. It's so dark.
Right.
But on the other hand, the dark gets the characters to
Mm-hmm.
come
Yep.
forward. But
So here's another thing you could also do at this point. If you're like, ah, my watercolors are looking too mushy, you could take either a pastel pencil or a charcoal pencil. Here's a nice charcoal pencil. I could take a charcoal pencil and go over and sketch some lines back in. Oh, I like that too. So that also looks kind of neat. So see how this can also adding a kind of contour line that's dark. Or this one's purple. I don't know if that'll look cool. Yeah, actually. Let's see. Oh, these are very nice. Keep going. Oh, Tosh, that's looking awesome. Did you just go dark in some areas? Tosh, what'd you do?
I think so. Should
Yeah.
I do some charcoal?
Yeah, try some charcoal. I think charcoal would look just in a few areas. See how I'm adding it in just in a few places to, yes, I think it would look really cool. I think this is a beautiful piece, and I think you're getting I like that this kind of strengthens things a little bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how long it takes for it to look like something.
Right?
actually. Like how many layers.
Totally. I think this is beautiful, though. This feels like total atmosphere to me. I think you got the atmosphere of the piece. I really think you nailed it.
Thank you.
Do you feel it?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with like outside of the table. Like I like how yours, maybe the charcoal will help.
Yeah, try a little charcoal. I feel like actually the thing that I'm regretting about this is that it's a little too big. The next time I did this composition, I would do it a little smaller, maybe half the size, and I think I'd like it better. I feel like I have lots of space here.
Okay.
If I'm thinking about it, like, which is, you know, when you have all those spaces and you're trying to figure out what to do with them. see.
What do you think about the background?
I think you're right. The background has to stay dark.
Yeah.
But the question is, can you lighten up the floor?
Yeah,
I really like the pink of the love seats. I like the yellow of her skirt. Yeah, you need the dark so that their faces come out.
yeah.
But the question is, I see why you feel like it's a little flat. So I wondered if like you made a kind of either a lighter what if you went one titch lighter? Might look weird. I don't know.
I could do the window reflect in the floor. I could make. the
Yeah. That would help a lot. Try that. Great idea. I'm just wondering if it makes sense to make your floor even lighter. I'm not so sure. This is a question, right? It's not really
No, I know.
clear. Like it's, yeah, we have to kind of try it and see. Maybe I want to. Oh, let's see. Now I'm using a green pastel pencil. Because why not? Will that help? I don't know. Maybe. Kind of like.
Who is that you're painting, Diana?
I'm sorry.
That's.
What
Who is that you're painting?
that is
Ooh.
the two main actors in Frank's movie
Oh, cool.
in a scene. Yeah.
Josh, I like the pink edition. I think it helps. Did you add more pink?
I did. Should I add more to the left side?
Yeah, I think that's kind of working. Yeah, and a little bit in. I'm adding a little green, which I think is actually also helping in a weird way. I don't know. Maybe there's no way, nothing to be helped for. Yeah. So at some point, what's fun with mixed media is to kind of add different textures, right? The pencil and the pastel pencil create a different texture than if you're only working with pencil, think about the type of marks you're making on your paper. Are they helping create a feeling of volume, or would they look kind of random to the viewer? If you're working with watercolor, maybe add a little charcoal pencil. Just to change up the texture a little bit. Just a little bit. Everything's helping a little bit. I just got some acrylic silver paint. If I get really crazy, I might put some of that on there. I might really, whatever, as long as it's water-based, you can pretty much mix anything. Oops, darn it.
So I brightened the floor a little bit.
Let's see. I actually like, so you brightened the floor on the left and you added the sort of bluish reflection. That helps a lot.
Yeah,
So the values didn't change that much. I think that really works. It emphasizes the shadows underneath the chair. I think that was a good decision, Diana. Good job.
thank you.
I think you got, did you feel like pleased?
Not yet, but
Like you're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Yes, I understand. But it's starting to work.
Yeah,
You can't deny it. It's definitely starting to work.
I can't say I love this, but
You haven't loved it, but we've had this conversation. It's a very awkward
Yeah.
and difficult composition.
yeah, it is.
So you're working it to, you're doing what needs to be done to make it
And I'm gonna abandon you guys now.
take your doggy out for a walk.
Yeah, no, I have to make some food
Oh, okay.
for the family. All right,
All right, Diana, great work today.
thank you.
You really pushed it. Good job.
Thank you.
Took it to a
Bye-bye.
new place. Bye-bye. That's, did she tell you who that was, Lisa?
Yeah.
Jack
that's cool.
Johnson, that her husband is just finished shooting the film about
Yeah,
Ghost in the House?
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's totally interesting. How's everybody else doing? Anybody want to send anything in?
Send you mine.
I'll tell you what, if you don't like the whole thing, send me a piece that you like. This would also be a really cool charcoal. Nice, Lisa. Beautiful. Keep going. It's lovely.
All right.
Oh, Paul, these are some really great colors. I like it. I like the yellow in the cup and the purple in the shadow. Just keep on going, baby. Keep on going. Anybody else? I like it.
Send you one in a minute.
Yes, send it, send it. I'm just curious to see what everybody's doing. Let's see. Oh, Tosh, yes, more pink. Yes, I think it's working. I like that. Do you like it?
I really do. I
It's
was
kind of a magical little composition, isn't it?
yeah.
Or like juxtaposition of colors. That pink and the blue are creating a really neat, they're both cool, right? So it's kind of got a cool composition. It's like a cool feeling to the work, but like I just like the way they're bouncing off each other.
I feel
It's
like there's a lot of lessons from the abstract class.
Yeah, coming into play there. Yep, yep. Also, I think that what Diana just did with her composition is reflected in what you did with yours. Where
Yeah.
she was, if you look at Diana's, she was working on the floor, right? So she had this sort of solid medium purple lavender floor, and then she turned half the floor kind of a bluish color that showed the reflection of the windows, and half the floor got a little bit lighter purple. So it had a little bit more variation to it, right? It wasn't just one boring flat color. So I think that's partly, did you see that, how she did that? Here, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah.
Right, if you look at this, you can see that this is more interesting than this. This is just kind of flat
Mm-hmm.
and darker. This, if you look up here, this definitely is more interesting. It's similar in value, but she lightened up a little bit over here, and then you've got all this green in here, so it isn't just like a flat purple, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of what you did there. It's kind of neat.
Everyone's looks really great. I'm
They
gonna hop
do.
off and get ready to go to sleep.
All right, sweetie, thank
Oh,
you for
yeah,
hopping in.
I love your pinks. Those are great.
I think this turned out to be a lovely piece, and you should put it in a frame. That's what I think.
Ooh.
Thank
Put it
you.
in a frame. Frame it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye. What else? Oh, fantastic color choices, Christina. Fantastic. Just maintain. I love the marbly green. Oh, that's just great. So now just push your values in places like this. Can you see me, Christina? I love the color choices. So push your values a little bit darker here, right up here. Be careful when you get into your midtones here that they're lighter, right? That whatever's happening inside is lighter than what's happening outside. But the colors are stunning. Absolutely stunning. Just keep going. Love it. I love how different everybody. Mariana, do you have anything to show us yet?
No, sorry, his colors are horrible.
Well, let's see them. And then we can talk about it. So let's see what happened. Send it over.
All right.
Are your values correct? Do you have the values
No,
right?
no, it's a disaster.
Well, that's the okay, all right, all right. Send it over, let me see it.
Okay.
Send me a picture. I might be able to help.
Yes, I will. I'm just trying to finish here the white spots.
Why don't you leave it exactly how it is and take a picture of it before trying to quote unquote finish it. Try, just send it over where it is. I want to see.
Okay.
I was thinking we might go to lemons next week, which will be a little bit more controllable. I know some of you have done that before. It's one of my favorite things to paint in watercolor. Okay. Why do you say this is horrible?
Oh, because color don't match. They're not even close to what I was trying to do. The
All
purple
right.
is too bright. They're too bright. The colors are too bright.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
I can help you with that. I can help you with that, but this is much better than you think it is. It's much better. So mix a little bit of yellow in with your purple to get a brownish color. Try that. Before, Mariana, you put it on anything, give yourself a blank sheet of paper and test it. So you'll start right down here, mixing. You have to mix blue, unless you have purple, but you know, I have to mix.
I
my
have purple. I have purple.
So you have to mix your purple. You might want to add a little blue to your purple.
Blue,
To make
which
it
blue? Like a light blue?
No, like a dark blue,
Like a cobalt blue or
like a ultramarine blue,
or Prussian? Let me see.
right? And now I'm adding a little bit of yellow, and then I'm mixing it. I'm testing it here to see, do I like this color? It's actually quite a beautiful gray.
So ultramarine, purple, and what else?
And a touch of maybe, what yellow do you have?
I have deep yellow, cream, and primary yellow,
Maybe a
and
touch,
lemon
okay.
yellow.
a touch of deep yellow.
Deep yellow.
So blue, purple. And then a touch, just a tiny touch of deep yellow. It should make a kind of stone gray, which you might like better than that purple. I'm sorry, I should have actually, this is supposed to be a basic class. I should have totally had you guys create a testing sheet, right? Where you test your colors before you put them on. That's actually pretty important. Because sometimes they go too dark, right? So if I have a sheet of paper I can test things on before I lay it down, then I'm not as likely to have this experience that Mariana is having of, these are not the colors that I want, right? By the way, is that helping?
I'm doing it right now.
All right, let's see. what happens. Anyway, I think this is way more interesting. I think it's way more, it may not be what you were expecting, but I'm kind of liking it. So it's not as bad as you, I was expecting something much worse. From your reaction, I was expecting something much worse.
Oh, come on.
You were like, this is terrible. It's a mess. I'm like, it's actually kind of nice looking. What are you talking about?
Purple.
She does not
So-
like the purple.
Let me see your end color to see if I'm close to it. What is your end color?
My end color is a little bit, it's kind of this warm silvery gray.
Okay, I'm very far away.
Well, what are you getting?
I'm getting too purple.
So maybe try just purple and the yellow.
More
No
yellow.
blue. No blue. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Oh, that worked. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't think that putting a yellow will make it actually darker.
Right. But it works. It makes it a little bit less electric purple and a little
Exactly.
bit more neutralized,
Like
right?
neutralized gray
Right.
green
So
or something like that.
do you, Mariana, do you remember the rule that is connected to what I just asked you to do?
So the opposite colors.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, composite color. Yes, yes. Complementary colors, right? So there are
Complementary
three
colors,
pairs,
Mhm.
yellow and blue, yellow and purple, green and red, blue and orange. So when you're trying to push a color back when it's too electric, you mix a little bit of the complement in, and it often will give you a very beautiful neutral color.
Okay, so I have it now. What do
Yeah.
I do with it?
Put it on your purples.
On my
Put
purpose.
it on
Okay.
top of your purples and see if it'll neutralize them a little bit.
Okay.
Is it helping?
Yes, it is darkening. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, great.
Other problem that I have is that I'm super cheap and I didn't buy the correct paper. So
So it's kind of like
it's
melting
getting
in.
like, it's making, it's falling apart.
it's getting mushy.
Yeah, exactly.
I
okay.
purchased some Walmart watercolor paper from Walmart for like 50, I think it was like 50 sheets for $10.
Nice.
Not bad. I
Wow.
mean, the quality is not as good, but you know, at this point, who cares?
Right. We've got about 10 minutes left, boys and girls. So make some decisions about how you want to look at your drawing or your painting and think, how can I finish this in the next 10 minutes? Or you can keep working on it for another 3 hours. That's your other option.
I like that.
Just keep on going. Yeah, for Toshween, it's like 11:30 or something like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's in Brooklyn. But we have another 3 hours in us. Do we not? I kind of like it. Oh, what is that thought? Let's see, that's- Actually, kind of like that. I have this pink pastel pencil. All right, we're gonna go back to kind of more basic subjects next week. I'm gonna, we'll talk about color mixing for doing lemons. Diana has some fantastic, has a whole orchard of lemons in her backyard. So she sent me a bunch of pictures. We're gonna use one from hers. We're gonna go on to, this was a little bit of a departure, but I just couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't help myself with this one. It was just such a atmospheric thing. Scene, I wanted to do it, so. Oh. Okay, we've got about 2 more minutes. So do 2 more minutes, something that you can do for 2 more minutes, and then send it in wherever it is. Also, we spent a lot of time talking about how we all felt at the beginning of class. So I also take 2 more minutes to do something, then take a picture. Then I want you to observe how you feel now. Do you feel any different? Observe that. Lisa, it's lovely.
Yeah.
It has a nice, doesn't it have a nice like little feeling to it?
Yeah.
Don't you kind of want to be there?
Oh, yes.
All right, how do you feel now, Lisa, compared to how you felt at the beginning? At the
I
beginning?
feel better. I feel more relaxed and maybe even a little more awake. That's possible.
Wow, because you were tired when you started.
Yeah.
Mariana and Christina, Paul, send in your pictures of what you're working on. Just send me whatever you like about it, wherever it is. And then tell me how you feel right now. You don't have to feel great. I'm not asking you to feel great. I'm just tell me honestly how you feel. So if you're like, I'm annoyed because this isn't what I want it to be, but observe, most likely you're going to be feeling kind of nice. Oh, Paul, I love all these colors choices. This is really, I love it. I actually kind of love it.
It's not finished, definitely.
I know. How do you feel now at the end of class?
I feel more focused. I feel like I accomplished something, so.
Good. Okay. Christina and Mariana, send it in. I know you guys aren't done yet. That's okay. Just send it where it is.
I need more layers. Very pale. Also, I
I
should.
like your inside of the cup. That's okay. You can get more layers. I just love the kind of jadey green of the sort of muted green of your table. It's just so peaceful to me. I don't know. I just really like it. I like the inside of your cup. I like those little like layers that you laid in. That's okay. You can always get darker, right? So now, oh, Mariana, I actually think this is looking kind of badass. This is looking kind of great. It's got some beautiful mark making. It actually has a wonderful movement and a wonderful feel. I think this is much more of a success than you think it is. Christina and Mariana, how do you feel now at the end of class?
I always feel great at the end of the class.
Really? Good. Christina, what about you? How do you feel now?
I've been working so much. I was in meetings from literally 9 to 5 p.m. straight with a half-hour break. So I wasn't gonna go to art class, but I was like, you know what? I want to relax, and I have. Thank you.
Good. So you feel a little bit, yeah, it's just, these days are just insane, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just fucking
Yes.
insane. They are insane.
Yes, there's a new variant of the COVID. Come on.
Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous. It's getting on and
Jesus.
on. So my hope is that everybody, I feel like everybody accomplished something. Mariana, Christina, I love the colors that you use. They're stunning. They're really lovely. So just keep layering in as you feel like it. Work as long as you want to. Paul, keep working. Mariana, I think you should consider this this painting a success. It's actually quite beautiful. So
Thank
I
you.
like it. I really like it. I think you guys all, yeah, you got it. You got somewhere. And I think that's really great. And I love how different they are. Like when we have our choices with our colors and all of that stuff, right? That like it can change the composition of the thing. I can see that everybody worked to create kind of like lighter, use your brush to create sort of softer reflective edges. I just, there's so many things that I like about all these pieces. So, but most importantly, what I like is at the end of this, you busy people feel like you've had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a refresh. So that's the most important thing. I'm going to stop the recording.